Hi, hello, and welcome to the Energy of the Week. My name is 𝖊𝖊𝖐. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? How was last week? And welcome to this week. We are doing an energy reading for the week for April 7th to April 13th. On April 12th, we do have a pink moon, which is a full moon in Libra. And the reason why it's called a pink moon is because it is the first full moon of spring. So in the spirit of Aries season, we are going to do a different reading today. We are going, instead of doing a day by day reading, we are actually going to do just an overall reading and with some channeled messages, of course, whatever comes through. So let's start. Okay, starting with the beginning of the week energy. So the first card we have to embody the beginning of our week is Strength. Strength with the Queen of Pentacles. And so this is about that internal strength, that willpower, that ability to do difficult things. With Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, this could be with our finances, with our overall health, making appointments, scheduling things that are really necessary that we need to do, that we know we need to do, that we may want to procrastinate on. And this could be just for the overall well-being of our homes, overall well-being of our relationships. So, all right, let's continue. Middle of the week. Okay. And so our next cards for the middle of the week, we have the Chariot and the Ten of Swords. So moving on from an ending. All right. So moving on from an ending, moving on from a relationship that was no longer serving you, that was very difficult to handle. This could also, I had an earlier message before while I was shuffling about leaving behind like addictions, leaving behind very difficult situations, toxic patterns. And so this could be something like something that's been weighing on your mind, and this is moving away from heavy thoughts, moving away from the inner critic, moving away from not believing that we can't move away, and facing real difficulties. And so far we have this message about that you have the inner strength, that you have the power, and that you have support this week to help you move forward, to help you move on. And that doesn't necessarily make it less difficult to handle, less difficult to process. It is a difficult process, it feels like. It does feel like you are going to need that willpower to move on. But there's this encouragement, there's this belief, and there's this trust that you have past experiences that have happened before, that this isn't over, that you have faced many endings before, you have faced difficulties before, and that you can move on from whatever this is. Okay. End of the week. And so towards the end of the week, we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords meaning change, meaning changing your thoughts, changing your beliefs. Also communication and our relationships with other people. We have the Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and this does kind of feel does give this like feeling of struggle. Without a doubt, this week does feel like a struggle, that there is obstacles, there are challenges this week. Most of it happening in our minds, most of it happening in our thoughts. Maybe some of it hasn't fully realized. It could just be kind of manic thinking about the future, manic thinking about what if this happens. Like almost what I'm hearing is like suffering twice. You know, you suffer once in your mind, and then you suffer in the future. You suffer in the future, and then you suffer now in your mind, and it has even happened. And you know what? Let me draw one more card in this Five of Swords. Right, this is the world, right? This is the world. This is thinking about the future, thinking of the future of the world, the future of the planet, what's going to happen in the future, what does the future look like? With the Two of it's beautiful because we have the Two of Wands here, and a Two of Wands, you're actually holding a globe. It's like you're holding the world in your hands, and the World card also came out. And it's like you're holding the world in your hands, and you're thinking, like, what do I do with what I have now? Right now, you might be in a good space, but maybe it's even feeling like tight. You're like, how long will I be good? How long will I have the stability that I have now? It's time to take action. It's time to make a move. There are a lot of worst case scenario thinking. Like a strong example that's coming up very easily is like, there's people that are thinking about leaving where they're from and they're thinking about how can I go somewhere else for a new or start a new situation for away from what is happening where I am, because I don't like the world that I'm seeing. And that is what's coming through in the cards. So I'm going to pull, let's see, let's keep going. Overall theme. Right. There is the energy of the Emperor here. Justice being served. There is a wish being fulfilled, something being revealed, something being honest, somebody standing up for justice, standing up for what is right. A truth. So the truth is going to come out this week. There's something about truth and legalities that is coming up that will occur this week, that we'll see. And a wish being fulfilled. So let's keep on going. This is kind of a chaotic, Aries energy. So what else can we expect from this week? So we had hold your vision at the bottom of the deck. And then we have the new moon in Virgo. A time to give rather than to take. A time to give rather than to take. And luck is on your side. So what they're giving me is the concept of, even when you don't think you have enough, be uncomfortable. Be uncomfortable and give something to somebody to create that flow of energy. You have more than you think you do. And this actually will help you with your luck, will help you with your karma, is what I'm hearing. Because we have the new moon in Sagittarius, luck is on your side. And we actually had the Fool show up in this reading on the bottom of the deck at some point. And there is a new beginning. There is like this new movement that I'm feeling. It's like this new start. Something that wants to begin, because it does feel like there's been a lot of stalling, there's been a lot of procrastinating. It's like more thinking than there is action, and there's action that does want to be taken. And I really feel there's a lot of people that are changing their minds and trying to think of new ways, thinking new ways of freedom, new ways of breaking free. Okay. This is the last set of cards, by the way. What else? I love this. So we have peace. Peace on the bottom of the deck. There's this feeling of like people wanting to be at peace, people wanting to find balance. When you have justice here, you have this desire for peace, you have this desire for balance. And there is going to be some kind of truth that is coming out this week, some kind of justice, something having to do with the law this week that's going to be illuminated. We have illumination here. So the illumination and then the star, then you think about that, right? There's light being shed on something that is, that it's being judged, it's being looked at very closely. And then we have frustration here. So we already talked about it. It's already been reiterated in the reading about there are challenges this week, there are obstacles. There is this like overall feeling of frustration and exhaustion and almost like that irritation. And the image they're giving me is like a pearl, like how like a pearl is created, and it's through irritation inside the shell to create something beautiful, right? To create this gem. But you can't see it at the moment. And that's the hard part. You can't see what's being created. But there is like a new earth. There is a new beginning, a creation, and it's starting with frustration though. And you think like the moon, a new moon is all just black, right? It's all just blank. It's all just a space that's ready to be filled with something new, a new vision. And so it's important to focus on what you want to create, focus on what you want to fill the world with, what you want to fill your world with. And I feel that is the message. That is the end of the message for the week. I hope that was insightful. I hope that supported you in some way. Thank you for being here and sharing this sacred space and time with me. And thank you, the divine. Thank you, spirit. And I will see you next week. Love you. Ciao.